Well, good morning and happy Monday to you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. How was Valentine's? I said I was going to read some of the comments on my page to see what you did over the weekend. Did you have a great one? Did you stay home or did you go out and did you celebrate with your loved ones? Let me know and I'll read some of those comments here in just a second. If you're just starting your day, good morning. If you've been up for a couple of hours, well, we need some of your energy. We're going to get into the forecast, some news you can use, and then today is a day for both men and women. What role do men play in our lives when it comes to menopause? You know, we talk a lot about Menopause Mondays with Jenny Gabriel with JG Optimal Wellness. Today we're going to talk about peri and menopause and postmenopause, but the role that men play in it. It's not just hot flashes. It's not just mood swings. Guys, you need to know what role you play. And you know, in the past, we've talked about the fact that you have very similar symptoms. Yours is called andropause. So today, we're bringing the men and the women together. All of that coming up for you here in just minutes. If you are new to the show, I'm Monica Adams, your host of The Real Monica Adams Show. And we have several people that are part of our show that I want you to thank. Zach Kimball, first of all. Zach came in. He hasn't been feeling his best. He is a trooper. We're going to make sure we get him some hot tea and some chicken noodle soup and get him some rest as soon as the show wraps up. So everybody do me a favor and wish him well. Send him some healing energy. And then let's say good morning to a dear friend of ours that's been part of the Real Monica Adams Show for 2 years strong now. He is aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore, and it's a segment we call What the Weather.
Good morning from St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, let's bring him in. Good morning, Beckett. How was your weekend?
It was good. How was yours?
Fantastic. Did you do anything fun or did you stay in?
Mostly staying in, especially on Saturday when we had that rain come through. But we went out a couple times. Went out to lunch. It was nice actually yesterday once those clouds broke. It was pretty sunny and warm in the afternoon yesterday.
Absolutely. It was just running around on Valentine's. I was like, oh my gosh, please get out the big umbrella.
Yeah, I know. It was raining pretty hard.
We had a wonderful one. We did a progressive day out. So wanting to support small business and support different restaurants. So we were running around to a bunch and I was getting ready to open up my umbrella and Jim's like, I got the big one. I got it. I got it taken care of for you. Well, we're talking about weather changes. And so we are actually, Jim and myself, we're heading to Napa. And I looked at Napa's forecast. It's going to be nicer here than it is in California. It's going to be like in the 40s in California. I'm going to miss the pretty weather on Wednesday and Thursday. But then it's all going to come back into what we would think should be winter right now. This is crazy. So I asked you on Friday if you could look into this for me. I don't remember a stretch like this ever in my life that was this warm. So did you look into it?
Yeah, I did. And the only times in recent history where we've seen stretches in February similar to this would be 2024 and 2017. And there's really not a lot of other years where we've seen such warm temperatures and this prolonged stretch of those warm above average temperatures in this month.
So we had it in just a couple of years ago, huh? I guess it's
Yes.
it's just so easy to forget, but yes, it's been unbelievable. In fact, we're talking 70s. So I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna let Beckett do that. You're gonna, I think, like Wednesday and Thursday. So Beckett, take it away.
Yeah, so looking at the current conditions right now, already 43 degrees, dew point at 38, 3-mile-per-hour winds out of the southwest. This afternoon, we're going to be warming up, increasing cloud cover throughout the day, especially heading into those afternoon hours with mostly cloudy skies. Our low tonight, again, 43. Tomorrow, 65 as our high with mostly cloudy skies. And again, Wednesday, that's when we're talking about the warmest day of the week, very above average, about 20 degrees actually above average we're looking at for Wednesday. Low of 47 there. By Thursday, 30% chance of rain. We could have a couple of showers and thunderstorms come through as the cold front comes through, because by the weekend, as you can see here, we are going to definitely cool down back to around normal temperatures for this time of the year. Saturday, 49, Sunday, 43, but keeping with that sunshine once that cold front does come through.
All right, Becca. Well, thank you so much. And so Friday, I'm going to be in California, so I won't see you on Friday. I'll give you a big recap of the trip and all the things that we did, and we'll be back together a week from today.
Sounds great. Have a good one.
All right, my friend, have a great one. Again, that's aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore. Again, you can follow him on X or you can follow him on YouTube. Let's look at some of his past reporting that he did for us. You're going to absolutely enjoy that. So if you are new to him, More Weather Official. As I mentioned, a wonderful weekend, especially if you stayed in and bundled up during the rain. I was looking at some of the comments of what people did over the weekend, and I love Marianne. She posted on my page and said that our little family of 3 had reservations at White Castles. She said, very cute and laid back. They decorate the lobby, have a hostess and waitresses. How cute is that? I've heard of that before, but have never been. So Marianne, thank you for that comment. Let's see, we celebrated in Grafton, Illinois with dinner at Aries Winery, stayed the night at an Airbnb. Doesn't that sound fun? I love supporting local businesses. Pamela said, my husband and I went to Pietro's for dinner, another wonderful place in the city. Wonderful dinner and had flowers delivered. Oh, good man. Flowers delivered to the table. They were there when they arrived. She said that's her favorite restaurant. And then I met this woman over the weekend. We stopped at 119 North in Kirkwood. If you've never been, Pat Carr, shout out to you. Always doing a great job for 16 years straight now. We had a wonderful one there. I met this woman named Marie Lou, but she also said her name is Monica. So she's like, it was nice to meet you there. We went from 119 North and then went into the city in Lafayette Square, stopped by Winnie's Wine Bar, which is affiliated with Hamilton Steakhouse. And then we went over and wrapped the night up at Planter's House, if you've never been to those. Let's see, I took my sister out for a Galentine's lunch to Chili's, one of her favorite restaurants. See, it was all about love all around, whether it was someone that was in a relationship or you were taking care of your girlfriends. Let's see, anybody else? Friday night we did a sunset dinner riverboat cruise. Love that. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. So those were some of the comments that I had on my page that stood out. But you tell me, what did you do for Valentine's Day? Paul's Market, somebody said. Oh, okay. Have an amazing, blessed day. I celebrated Valentine's with my boys during the day and was with the Pueblo family for dinner service. Love that. Hello, Pueblo Solis, by the way. Shout out to one of our favorite Mexican restaurants. So that's some of the stuff that went on. Again, as you're signing on, let us know what you did because after all, this is your community and we like you sharing. Okay, let's get into some news you can use. A story, of course, that we've been following for the last couple of weeks and we've all felt like we are invested into this with Savannah Guthrie and her mother, Nancy. So the latest that they're saying now is it may have been a botched burglary. Can you believe this? Investigators believe the disappearance of Nancy was the result of a botched burglary. Former law enforcement experts who reviewed the doorbell camera footage told AZ Family the incident did not appear to be a planned kidnapping. An inside source yesterday told the station that investigators believe it was a burglary gone wrong. That source also says the, quote, widespread investigative belief is Nancy could be alive. And I have chills. Last night, I saw a video on X from Savannah Guthrie. She looked... Wow. I'm like, I don't know that she has gotten any sleep. She looked like she had been crying for weeks now, saying, you know, that you're not alone and you're not lost and that anything can change at any given moment. And please, if you know anything or if you are the person that has her, please call that you know anything can be changed at any given point. That was what I had seen. The sheriff's department, by the way, in Arizona says that motive is hard to place right now without a suspect in custody. So right now they're saying everything is just speculative. Investigators are waiting for DNA evidence results from a Range Rover SUV that was towed from a Tucson area Culver's restaurant, as you can see here, late on Friday. The most recent update in the investigation came yesterday when the FBI announced that a glove containing DNA near her home appears to match those worn by the suspect that you see on that Ring camera. The gloves were found about 2 miles away from the home in a field near the side of the road, and they arrived at a private lab in Florida Friday after they were sent off on Thursday. The FBI reported that they received preliminary results of a DNA profile. They're now awaiting quality control and official confirmation before they put the profile into the national database. That process, by the way, does take 24 hours. So that is the latest. Again, wouldn't it be amazing for this story to finally come out that she is still alive, that they get the suspect, and that she is delivered back to her family That's what we're all hoping for. Thoughts and prayers, of course, going out to the Guthrie family. Well, local faith leaders held a rally on President's Day, or will be, I should say. The clergy, the members of the faith community, they're calling on people across the St. Louis region to gather for a President's Day rally to bridge the faith and the justice on the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Bridge. The goal is to bring together faith leaders across denominations and others to raise a moral voice in solidarity with immigrant communities. Organizers say the rally is intended to hold space for those who long to stand publicly for dignity, compassion, and justice. The rally will take place today from 10 to noon on the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Bridge. So if you want to go out there and you want to get together with your community, there you go. All right, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Do you have any of those vehicles? Well, then listen up. The latest recall we have is for all of you. You are getting a do not drive alert. It's been issued for thousands of these vehicles that still have unrepaired airbags. The defective airbags have been at the center of a massive recall that's affected tens of millions of vehicles in the United States. About 225,000 vehicles actually are impacted by the latest do not drive warning, including several models that I'm going to drop in the comments section. There's so many that instead of running through those, if you drive a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, I want you to look right now in the comment section, dropping that in for you so you can take a look at the years and the models and see if you're affected. And of course, if you are, then vehicle owners should be getting a notification. Also, you can check the NHTSA website to see if your vehicle is included in this airbag recall. Another recall has to do with baby food. Tippy Toes baby food is the latest recall, and it is due to a health risk. Initiative Foods has recalled a single lot of its Tippy Toes apple, pear, and banana fruit puree due to elevated levels of its patulin. It is a naturally occurring substance produced by molds that may grow in various fruits, including apples. The FDA said long-term exposure can lead to several health issues, including nerve damage and immune suppression. No illnesses have been reported so far with the recall, which is good. They were sold, by the way, in plastic tubs as a 2-pack and have a best buy date of July 17th. Customers should either throw it away or, of course, wherever you got it from, return it to that store for a full refund. All right, what's taking place today? Well, it's President's Day after all, and so you may have the day off. Your kiddos might be home from school as well. And National Do a Grouch a Favor Day. Look at that cat. And it's National Almond Day if you don't have a nut allergy. All right, let's get into some Olympic news. By the way, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, it is our third installment of Medals and Mayhem. Hopefully you've had a chance to see our recap of the opening ceremonies. And then Michaela and I were together just a few days ago going through alpine skiing as well as figure skating. Today, we're going to recap the women's hockey game about an hour after it ends. So if you are getting a chance to watch live, 9:40 a.m. our time is the game for the U.S. And they have been doing, the female hockey have been doing incredible. I was watching men's and women's as well, but we're going to recap the women's for you. As far as some of the big gold medal moments, the women's ski jumping, the large hill, Anna Strom won the first ever women's large hill ski jumping Olympic gold, adding to her earlier success, underscoring Norway's strength. Also, Lisa Vitazzi, women's biathlon 10-kilometer pursuit, they delivered a near-perfect shooting performance to secure Italy's first Olympic gold in biathlon. Have you watched that, by the way? I love watching the biathlon. As they're going through and they're cross-country skiing, then they stop and they shoot. It's fascinating to me. Britain's Charlotte Banks battled back to claim gold in the mixed team snowboard cross event. It was Banks and Nightingale. Also, Tabitha and Matt gave Great Britain another historic gold in the inaugural mixed team skeleton event. That's what I watched, Stecker and Weston. It was pretty amazing. Great Britain, congratulations to you. In speed skating, the women's 500 meter, it was the Netherlands setting an Olympic record to win gold, and some historic and notable performances for the U.S. Alpine skiing star Michaela Schifrin finished 11th in the women's giant slalom, a very tough outing as she aimed for another chance later in the games. Erin Jackson, the defending Olympic speed skating champion, narrowly missed a medal, finishing outside the podium in the 500 meter. And again, as I mentioned, we're going to recap the U.S. women's hockey that will be taking place at 9:40 this morning. We'll do that at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'm looking at the medal count. Norway's in first, Italy in second, U.S. is in third, and then rounding out the top five, Japan and France. U.S., by the way, has 5 5 golds, 8 silver, 4 bronze, for a total of 17 medals so far. All right, so Medals and Mayhem. We have 2 shows on tap for you today and tomorrow, by the way. So today at 1 o'clock, if you can, around lunchtime, if you're at home, again, with President's Day off, I would love for you to watch that. Michaela Tuggle, known as Make That Magic on social media. She has about 650,000 followers between all of her platforms. So I love her and our audience coming together. 1 o'clock, we'll recap U.S. women's hockey. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time, we will be recapping curling. Have you been watching that? Let me know. All right, we're going to take our break. When we come back, today's show is for both men and for women. Men, what role do you play in our wellness for perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause? We'll talk about that with Jenny Gabriel from JG Optimal Wellness when we return.
Monica's show. It's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
And as you can see there, Jenny Gabriel, be sure to follow her on social media. Reach out to her so she can help you with your health journey. She is a nutritional therapy practitioner with JG Optimal Wellness, and all the information to follow her online or on social right there on your screen. You can reach out to her at jenny@jgoptimalwellness.com. Her website is JG Optimal Wellness, and social media at JG Optimal Wellness as well. Let me bring her in. Good morning.
Good morning.
You look adorable today.
Well, thank you.
I'm loving this
appreciate
outfit.
it. Thank you.
How did you have a good Valentine's?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you went to
We went
Cedar
to
Lake.
Cedar Lake
Shout out
Cellars.
to my friend Carl Baum, who is the
Yeah.
owner over there.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was great.
Good.
We had
But
a great
you had
time.
to deal with the rain.
No, because
you
we
didn't?
went Friday night.
Oh, you went Friday night.
Yeah,
Oh,
we went
that's-
Friday
yeah.
night. Saturday, yeah, we didn't do a whole lot.
No,
We just kinda
stayed
hung
in,
out. Yeah.
cuddled and
Yeah.
cuddled in the rain. It
That's
was.
right.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just mentioning to Beckett and to Jenny as well. We're leaving. You think you're going to California and it's going to be nicer,
Right.
and I'm
I
like,
know.
oh, I hope you all enjoy Wednesday and Thursday because it looks amazing. You and Zach were talking. And Zach's like, I feel like I have to get shorts out.
Yeah, right?
Like, I mean,
I know.
shorts in
70 some
winter.
degrees? Yeah.
So I looked at a record on Thursday. A record is 77, and on Wednesday the record would be 74, and the prediction is for 74 on Wednesday. So
Wow.
we may hit that. I don't know about the record on Thursday that we're going to hit. So, but enjoy that. I'll let you know how Napa is when I come back.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
anxious to hear.
Yes.
I've not been to Napa.
Ever?
That's one of my bucket lists.
Oh, this is our 3rd time.
Yeah, it's my bucket list.
We'll have to make a plan.
Yeah.
We've been talking, by the way, all you Monica's Maniacs, about doing a trip together. So
Yeah.
Stay tuned because there's some things going on behind the scenes of what we're planning. But oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
definitely have to do Napa together.
Yeah.
Beautiful area for sure. All right, everybody, I hope you're enjoying your day. I met a lot of new people over the weekend. And for those of you that are diehards, be sure to welcome them when they sign on. I told them, say hello, ask any questions. We'll be looking at all the platforms live. And then, of course, when you watch later, do a little hashtag replay. So today we're going to talk about men and women both. And I love that. We're just
Yeah.
coming off of the love holiday and hopefully
Yeah.
a lot of communication and empathy. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's something for men where you're like, well, do I need to listen to this? Yes. Today, especially, this matters of men
Yeah.
supporting women through menopause. And I know in the past we've also talked about men having very similar situations or,
Right.
or things that we go through
Right.
called andropause. But this is all about what we're experiencing and what you can do that actually helps.
Exactly. And it's it's not about fixing it. Menopause it's a we issue.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just a me issue.
Very good point.
And so it's really important that men understand that what women are going through. They don't and they have to go into it because men are fixers, right? They want to fix everything. And there's just things you can't fix. but being more like an anchor. And so we're going to really focus on today just giving them some direction and some suggestions on ways to help support their significant other through the process.
Play a supporting role, not a fixing role.
Very much a supporting role. And that's hard because when you're used to being a person that fixes things, it's hard to step back and just think of yourself being an anchor to them, a grounding source versus being the fixer, because it's not something they can fix.
No, but for you to know that there is, but they are kind of fixing in a way of stepping in and saying, oh, this is my role. Okay, this is what I can do. You can't stop what we go through.
Right. Cannot.
Right?
Nope. It's just, that's just part of
life.
Part of life, part of biology. It's just how it goes. It's how it's, God gave it to us to walk through.
Yes.
So
One of the things before we get into this, because I've had some people ask me in the past, so when you go and work with Jenny, and Jenny is able to do, let's go through, by the way, some of the many certifications that you have and how you address when you're working one-on-one. But they were like, okay, so can Jenny do my hormone replacement therapy and all that? She has a team that she works with.
right. Yeah. I have people I refer to for those types of things. I'm going to work on the nutrition. I'm going to work on the lifestyle things, supplementation as well, just to help alongside. If someone's getting hormone replacement, getting the nutrition, the foundational work done. And there's some testing I can do now that I couldn't do before that can dive in. Like if someone's really having some nutritional deficiency issues or food sensitivity issues, I can now dive into that a little bit deeper and identify those things so that we can get a better plan in place for them. Because the last thing I want to do is we're working on inflammation, which hormone replacement does aid in that, is for me to add food in that's going to cause inflammation to get worse, right? So it's important to have all of the P's and Q's together when you're walking through this. But
and I think what's interesting for a lot of people, they think of having issues with inflammation and bloating, and they're like, oh, am I eating processed foods? There are times where what they're eating would be categorized as actually healthy foods, but the body just doesn't like them. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah,
That's her wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's my wheelhouse. That's where I can come in and say, okay, these are foods that you're very sensitive to. And that can be related to hormones too, depending on how your body responds. Everybody's body is so different. That's the thing I want women to understand and men to understand. They're all so chemically different. How one person responds is going to be completely different how somebody else responds to something.
And I think it's interesting that you may have been going through life and everything's been fine. And then all of a sudden, depending on the age that you are, the evolution of the body, suddenly it's, well, I was able to eat this forever. How come I can't eat it anymore?
Right.
That is a huge question I hear from people.
Yeah. And that does happen. It's just how the body changes and how our body responds to that. So identifying those things so that we can remove them or maybe not eat as much of them is important. And it's not restriction, because I want women to understand working with me is not about a restriction. It's about identifying the things that are going to help longevity-wise for them and help them to manage where they're at in the transition. It's only to make things better. And if we don't have, it's like a house. If you don't have a good foundation, how are you going to build on that for it to stand?
Right.
And nutrition and lifestyle things are part of that.
There's a lot of people, I think, that are given the tools of, okay, here's what's wrong with your body.
Yes.
This is what you should probably stay away from.
Right.
And then they still go back going, oh, forget it, but I like it. Well, then you're just going to have to deal with the symptoms.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Like I was talking to somebody the other day when I just mentioned the aspect of something you would consider to be healthy for you. Chickpeas, hummus, which I used to do great with.
Yeah.
My body, nope. Doesn't. And I have no desire to go through that.
No,
so
understand.
You would think that once you're told, oh, well, this is it, that you don't eat it anymore. Or if you do, it's, as you said, very sparingly. Like if I'll go to a get together at somebody's house, I'm like, oh, hummus, darn it. And I'll see a bunch of vegetables with hummus and I'll want to have some. And you just feel bad, right? So it's fascinating once you are given the information of, this is what's going on with your body.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I want
Yeah.
you, there's so many reasons why working with Jenny is really going to benefit you. So again, there's a lot of great information she gives us here, but it is going beyond that with you. As she just mentioned, we're all so very different.
Very different.
Let her individualize a program for you. Okay. So again, Jenny at jgoptimalwellness.com. Okay. So let's start walking through
Yeah.
how, and we'll look at some of the comments that are coming in for you right now as well.
Yeah.
How men can support women during menopause.
Mm-hmm.
So in their minds, actually what I would love for you to do, guys, if you are watching, and I hope you are today, what
Yeah.
do you even think menopause is? What do you think perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause is? Because it will probably be in the first category of what we're saying here. In your mind, I think the first thing I think that they would say is, oh yeah, you all get real moody.
Yep, and that's one of the points today, just to tell you not to take it personally.
So they think mood swings, they hear us talk about hot flashes,
Yeah.
how we're suddenly
Yeah.
hot, then we're cold,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
But in their minds, that's what they'll think of: hot flashes. They'll think mood swings, and they also
Mm-hmm.
are probably in their mind thinking that it's just a short time period and it'll go away.
Right, like this isn't going to last very long. But that's not what menopause is.
No.
You know, menopause is a neurological shift that happens. It is hormones, it's stress management, metabolism. It's all of that together and how that transitions, as well as it's not just a short period of time.
Right.
It can be a multi-year journey for women, and you know, this isn't like being dramatic about it. It's just the brain chemistry, the sleep, the blood sugar regulation, all of those things are how the body responds is literally changing for them during that time frame.
So do you think men believe that once they do, maybe they even go to some of these appointments with the women, which I
Yeah,
think you should,
which
by
that's
the way.
great if they do, because then they get, they can ask questions too that they,
I think they should.
yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
especially as we get older, I think that men and women should go to doctor's appointments together because you're going to be missing something, or you can ask questions that maybe we're not thinking of.
Right.
But also for yourself of, oh, well, I'm going to go through, I've heard I might go through some of these things as well.
Yeah.
So somebody just asked Jenny,
Yeah.
Kelly,
Hi,
good
Kelly.
morning, by the way.
Good morning.
With doing hormone replacement with pellets, will you gain weight?
I think it just depends on the person. Not necessarily should they be gaining weight on pelleting. If you are gaining weight on pelleting, then I would be asking, because it could be maybe there's a level that's off or something. I mean, that's where my mind would go to directly, not medically speaking, but just like, okay, or maybe your body hasn't quite adjusted to it yet. There is kind of a period of transition. I know with progesterone specifically, you can gain some weight with that in the initial phase of it. But once you've been on it for, like, I don't know what the time frame is on it, maybe 60 days or something, then the body will adjust to that. So, and usually with progesterone, it's more of a water weight gain
Ah, okay.
thing with that.
Yeah, because a lot of people get on hormone replacement therapy or bioidentical hormones because they are gaining weight.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And normally once the
Right.
hormones get regulated, wouldn't you see that start dropping?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, Kelly,
Yes.
are you gaining weight on this? That's interesting.
Yeah, that would be my question. And if it's something new you've been on, is it a new pellet? Have you been on pellets for a while? Did the pellet formula change?
Yeah.
And then those things are things you want to document. Not just Kelly, anyone, document these things, because this is things that you need to go back to your hormone optimization specialist or your PCP, your GYN, whoever's working with you on this, and say, these are the symptoms I'm experiencing since we started this new dosage. So
I'm going to be
that's my
asking.
thoughts.
So I was telling Jenny, going into March, I would love to put Dr. John Arshadi and Jenny together, because this is where we're going to be able to pull together from a whole body nutrition
Mm-hmm.
aspect, and then working with someone who does hormone replacement therapy. I
Yeah.
asked him, so he has Divine Longevity and Wellness, and we're actually going to be doing a piece with him in a couple of weeks. I will ask him, because he said the number one thing people come into him for, hormone replacement therapy and GLP-1s.
Yep. And both of those I do have a micro certification in GLP-1 lifestyle integration.
Okay.
Which is really important. The reason I got it is because I have a lot of women that come to me that are on that, not necessarily for the weight loss, but for other medical reasons. But I've also had them come to me for the medical weight loss. They've been on them for them. But the problem with that is I see so many women go on these, Monica, that they're just getting the shot, but they're not getting the foundational work with it.
Right.
And that can severely backfire.
Yeah, well, that's
on them.
Well, and that is why you don't buy something online. You work with a practitioner
Yes,
that
yes.
will say right away, you do a GLP-1.
Right.
You have to make sure you're eating protein. You
Right.
should be exercising. You still should be
Right.
drinking water.
Right. There's some accountability factors. It's not like, okay, here's your sheet. See you later.
Yep.
Hi, bye, see ya.
Right.
ABC, I don't want to be ya kind of thing. I mean, it's literally, you need to be and if you're not getting that, please reach out to me.
Absolutely.
That's something I can definitely fill the void for them on, because you want to get the most benefit from what you're doing.
Absolutely.
But also supporting your body where it needs to be supported mostly.
Well, and I don't know if you all saw, but during Super Bowl, I saw Serena Williams. And
Yeah,
there was a
I saw that on the
brand new
Row. Yeah,
which I
Row.
had not heard of.
Yep, Row.
But every time I turn around, there's something new. For the longest time, it was people talking about semaglutide or tirzepatide. Yeah, right. So
Zepbound.
then it became, now there's an oral form, and now
Those
there's
are
another
new.
one. Yes. So as we got into January of 26, and I'm sure people will come to you. Okay,
Yeah.
there's this that I heard about.
Yep.
I know a lot of doctors, even a very well-respected orthopedic surgeon that we just recently had on. He's in the belief of his athletes being on them from a joint standpoint, which when you looked at that particular Row commercial that she did, it was circling the knee and talking about joint health. And I'm like, interesting. It's fascinating.
The peptides, I mean, that's a whole nother.
Yep. We haven't done peptides. We need to do
Yeah,
peptides on
that
this
that
show.
is definitely an area I see that is going to change the trajectory.
From performance?
Yeah,
Yep.
a performance, but also in aging.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so many shows to do. Okay,
Yeah.
so keep those questions coming in. Let's see. Okay, hold on. She said, I am getting ready to start them. Okay, just curious. So,
Okay.
Kelly, the one thing we have discussed in the past about pellets, and everybody's got to find what works for them. She
Right.
and I have both been very honest and raw and
Yeah.
real with you
Yeah.
that we do bioidentical hormones. I do the cream. It's
Same.
very easy. You have to find what works for you. The only reason why I wouldn't wanted to do a pellet was that you can't adjust it for like 3 months, right?
Right.
That was my
right.
only thing. So, Kelly, do you have someone that is going to be taking care of you with that? I'm getting ready to start, she said.
Okay.
Thank you. That makes me feel better to
Good.
hear your feedback working with
Yeah.
RFA Skincare Wellness. Okay.
Okay, good.
Rose said, spouse support is everything to me. My hubby is the best no matter what I'm going through. And earlier she said they should include menopause and wedding nuptials for better or worse.
I love that, Rose. That's awesome. Yep.
So,
Yep.
one more time, if you're just tuning in, Jenny Gabriel, JG Optimal Wellness, and we stress that men, it is not just hot flashes and mood swings, gaining weight, and something that's going to be a short time period. There's going to be phases of it, of course.
Yep.
And that's one thing we want you to understand. But she stressed what it is: a neurological shift, a hormone, stress, metabolism transition, and a multi-year journey. So as you go through that with us, it is being empathetic.
Yeah, it is. It is being empathetic, being the grounding source.
Yes,
I
and
think
you
that's
do
the
play a
best
role
way
in
to
this.
say.
Okay, so let's do why this stage can feel so hard. What's happening behind the scenes?
Well, estrogen, progesterone declining. We become more cortisol sensitive, which means that just the stress hormone itself is going to be a little higher. We see that because a lot of women gain weight around the belly. That's a cortisol dump, okay? That gets into, too, we get a little bit into like insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance. We see that happens with this as well. A lot of more interrupted sleep, like maybe they're sleeping lighter or they're just having trouble shutting off because that becomes a nervous system, vagus nerve issue too. And you also see the emotional aspect of this, like they just have a hard time emotionally handling things, okay? And I please understand that this isn't like the women are losing it. Okay, there's a lot of recalibration going on.
feel
So
like it.
I want to give this more of a visual, and maybe this will connect with people. But it's like a software update running in the background that has bugs in it.
I just
okay.
woke up today to my Mac resetting, and I'm like, I got to
Yeah.
find it all over again.
Yeah. So that's kind of what is happening through that transition. It's just like the software update that's happening, but then there's these bugs that keep popping in that cause certain issues to become
Well, in our
more
minds,
prevalent.
I'm getting ready to say this, but then again, if people have never been helped along by listening to a show like this or having someone that was in their life that went through all these things, it's all foreign to you as well.
Right,
You
yeah.
don't know what's going on. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
believe women more so, our minds are, okay, I'm ready for this. Okay, I'm ready for this. And now I kind of know how to attack this. But for men, it's foreign to them. They feel like it's a foreign language.
For sure.
They are so walking on eggshells around us.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, when's she going to go off on the next thing? You know, like, when's she going to explode, you know?
So what can they be doing?
Anchoring, just being more empathetic, believing, like if she's saying she's having these symptoms or she's feeling a certain way, don't like make jokes about it, especially if they're really having a rough time. But the other thing is too, don't make them feel guilty about it. Like, don't push guilt. So, because that makes us feel not supported when we don't have that empathetic side of things.
And don't dismiss it, and don't say you're overreacting.
Right. Don't dismiss it. Don't say you're overreacting, or, you were fine yesterday. What happened today? You know, I mean, because it is kind of like that. There are days that are kind of like that, let's just be frank about it. But there's also, the thought process, it'll be over soon. A lot of people like to
When is this going to end?
When is this going to go away?
When are you going to go back to who you used to be?
I don't know
these
who
are
you
all
are.
hard things because there's nothing we can do about it.
Right. And so the thing that I would stress is just believe that the emotional part of this is there. Believe that there is exhaustion associated with this, because they're going to be more tired. This is probably the hardest lesson that I've had to learn with this myself personally. And just believe that that the symptoms are real. You may not see it, but they're feeling it.
Yes.
Like when they're sitting in bed or laying in bed and you're having to wear the parka on the other side of the bed and she's over there stripping down because she's sweating and you cannot figure out why, because she seems fine. She's not fine.
No, and it's hard for us to go through, especially think about a woman that's all dolled up and you're taking her out with a bunch of couples, and then you keep looking over and you're like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's the way you approach it. But just think about when people have a relationship that goes awry and they go to counseling, right? And a counselor's going to tell you, probably don't want to say things this way. Opt to maybe say it this way. The other thing that I think is really interesting that you have on here, don't say maybe you're just stressed.
Yeah, don't just blame it on that, because Captain Obvious. Yeah, she probably is a little stressed, but
With everything
everything is a big deal, okay?
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Jenny Gabriel, and I see some new names on here, so let me make sure that you know where to find her. I just saw Robin, is it McNicky? Maybe. Robin, welcome to the show. She said, I'm going today for HRT at a wellness place. Fantastic. I'm
Great.
glad that you are doing something
Yeah.
about it. When it comes to, let me do this, and I didn't realize that what I'm eating could also be the issue. Maybe I need to have a hair tissue mineral analysis done. So many things that Jenny can do for you, by the way. So it's Jenny at jgoptimalwellness.com. After the show, maybe reach out to her and say, hey, I've got some more questions. JG Optimal Wellness is her website, and you can follow her on social media at JG Optimal Wellness. By the way, you can scan that QR code right now, and you can join her Facebook group, which is Menopause Belly Secrets. This is a community of everyone like-minded coming together, getting the expertise from her, and then also a free assessment call. There's the QR code. Scan to book that. She can go through and do an assessment with you and then work with you individually. Robin says yes. She's brand new to the show. Well, Robin, welcome aboard.
Yeah,
We love having
welcome.
you. We're going to take a quick break. Once again, we're going through what can men do to help us as we go through these stages. More with Jenny when we return.
The world needs to be more positive. The world, and I'm spreading positivity with my air fresheners. So
You and I both,
yes.
sir.
Sadly, I wasn't aware of the Monica Adams show until recently, and was I missing out?
I'm definitely going to turn this on in the mornings on our TV.
She's helping people to understand their value. She's helping women to transform their lives. From the minute that we walked in, I felt just really comfortable and at home here.
You are always a ray of sunshine and positivity.
Thank you for what you do. I love this whole thing that you're doing.
It's good news. It's great news. It's uplifting and empowering.
But you were engaged, and I love that. So thank you so much.
Welcome back again. Thanks for tuning in to the Real Monica Adams Show. All of you diehards that call yourselves Monica's Maniacs, welcome aboard. All these new people that are watching, like Robin, thank you so much. And I just jumped over to Instagram. Unbridled Focus said it's an amazing group. So she must be in the Menopause Belly group. I love that. And good morning, Diane. I see you over there as well. Try to jump around all the different platforms as we are on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, Rumble, LinkedIn, and Twitch. So welcome to all of you. If you are just tuning in, we're talking today about the role, and it's a very important role, that men play in women's lives. And we're not just talking to someone that you're involved with from a romantic relationship. We're talking about what your daughters go through, what your moms go through, what the women that you work with think about going into the office.
Work environment.
And then being a little bit more empathetic is what we're talking about. So be the calm. That's what we need from you.
Yeah.
You are a calming source when we are stressed out.
Yeah, just being more I keep using the word anchor, but just more grounding than reactive. Don't be so reactive to us because that just makes it so much worse. But being more of a anchor. I just want to keep saying the word anchor because that's what it is. It's like just having that support, and know that you have that support will make the journey together so much easier. And just giving space without making it a big deal, without withdrawing and just isolating yourself from
what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. We
because
don't
that's
want to
not
feel
good.
alone.
No.
And we don't need stress meeting stress. So when we talk about be the calm, it is you have to balance out what we're going through.
Right.
So guys, be the calm.
Well, with the nervous system already on edge, the last thing that women need in this situation is someone to try to fix it. It's not about fixing, it's just about calming. And it's about the calm will help regulate someone that has a dysregulated nervous system.
What if women mistake them being calm with them not being interested, or they're like, well, don't you want to do something over there? Because the problem is women sometimes might end up saying, do something, fix this. I don't want to be going through this.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't understand it either until they listen to someone like you say, well, this is how you attack it. This is what you need to do. And it's not that you have to suffer through this, right? You have to go and either Jenny works with you from a nutrition side, as some of you women are saying. You go and get hormone replacement therapy. You change lifestyle, things like that. You don't just go through it and be miserable.
Right. You don't go through it and just be miserable. It's about walking through it together and helping figure out the best path to go. And when we don't talk about it, that's when problems start to occur. That's when you start seeing the withdrawal. You start seeing the separation part of this happen when we're not talking about it. Because instead of it being it being a we problem or a relationship issue, it becomes a isolated, alone problem. And that's one thing women don't want to be, is alone.
No, not at all. So again, be the calm when she can't be.
Yeah, be the anchor.
All right. So not taking the mood shifts personally, which we mentioned at the very beginning.
Yeah, don't take them personally.
Staying steady instead of reactive, and giving space without withdrawing.
Yeah.
That is the role that you men, if you're watching us live right now or you watch this later, that's the role that you play.
Yeah.
When we are going through what we're going through and we're in a heightened state here, you're the calm state to all of that.
And don't feel like you have to fix it. Okay.
She's stressing. Has she said that enough? Stress. You can't fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the support. Let's go on to support rest without commentary.
Well, that just means don't be making them feel guilty about them needing more rest, or maybe they need more downtime, or maybe they're a little slower in the mornings, maybe they're a little slower in the evenings. Maybe they're like, I just want to stay at home tonight, I don't want to engage with people socially. I have a friend right now that's postmenopausal. She's a hairdresser. She sees people all day.
Yeah.
She's like,
Don't throw her
I
back
don't
into
want
more
to
of that.
people. I
That's
don't want to
true.
people at night.
I
don't want to people at night. And, some of that is just needing that space to just kind of, just support them where they're at. Don't force it. And if they don't want to go to the party or they don't want to go to the movie or whatever, don't take it personally at all. Just support them.
And
don't
mentioned
react.
So the things that you should do and the things you should avoid. The avoiding list is also as important.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it earlier, and I think it's important to bring back. Even though everywhere we look on social media,
it's fun,
there's a
funny,
lot
funny.
of jokes about it, but
mhm.
you're stressing that they shouldn't joke about it. We have to laugh together.
I
But
think we have to
don't
laugh
make fun of
together,
us.
but don't make fun of them. And especially at a moment when she's like very heightened would be a really bad idea to make a joke about it.
Because it will elevate.
It will
what
elevate.
you don't want.
Yeah, it'll elevate it. And I'm not saying we can't joke about it. I think we need to joke about it. I think we need to have, a little bit of fun with it and realize this is just part of life and we can't be so tight and uptight about everything too. And that's for women too. Don't be so uptight about it. But there's a time and a place for joking, and it's not when she's in a heightened state.
Yes. So I want to make sure that you don't mistake what we're saying here. The joking and making us laugh and taking
Yeah.
our minds away from it
Yeah.
is what we want to hear jokes,
Right.
not about this.
Yeah, maybe just not about the menopausal thing or like making fun of her wearing, not wearing much because she's so hot or making fun of her or making her feel bad because she has to turn the temperature down in the house to sleep.
Or at the same time, you might be saying, hey, why are you wearing that? Why is it so baggy and layers and
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
like, well, can't you wear this thing that we think is sexy and pretty? And it's
Right.
like they feel miserable because they put on weight around their belly.
Yes.
So
Great
it's yes.
point.
It's
Yes.
just think about it's the main thing here
It's
is
a great point.
You've got to think the extra step.
Yeah.
But it's also education, which is what we're trying to do today, that you play a big role in this. Okay, before we go on, let me look back at some of the comments coming in.
Yeah.
Jenny, hubby wants to know if it's normal for me. I know you just talked about it, but
Yeah.
we can be watching TV and 1 second I ask for a blanket and then about 15 minutes later I tear it off because I'm sweating.
Yep,
This
same.
isn't sleeping. This is just sitting there. I'm 65. Is that normal? It's happening more and more. I thought I was through all that.
Oh boy. I hate to be the party pooper, but some women, even depending when you went through menopause, especially the first 5 years after, and it can even be 10 years, you may have times where you have like those like little hot flash.
So it comes
feeling.
like it rears its ugly head
Yeah,
back?
it can. Yeah, it can
Well,
do
that's
that.
the whole postmenopause thing that we've discussed.
Right. Yeah, it is. And so it can happen. Yeah, because she's likely postmenopausal would be my guess.
Oh, Linda said it still happens to me all the time also. And I believe, I'm not going to say Linda's age, but I know that Linda was saying that she was kind of in that age range also.
Yeah,
So
it can
let me
happen.
ask then, these women that are saying, oh my gosh, I'm in my late 50s, I'm in 60s, I'm even in 70s, I wouldn't think that I'm having to deal with that. If they are, what can you do to help them when you're working one-on-one with them?
I would be looking at what foods they're eating. That's where my mind goes immediately. And the other thing I would also look on the lifestyle part of things. What's the stress part going on?
Okay.
Is there some stress things going on?
Yeah.
Because that will also, believe it or not, ladies, will also cause those hot flashes to rear their heads too.
So for all of you that think that you're past it, this is probably a wake-up call for you today.
Yeah.
Again, keep those questions and comments
They're
coming
great
in.
questions.
Let me know. Okay, so let's see. Help with the invisible load decision. Fatigue is real.
It is real. And that's what actually, here's the deal. It would just be so much more helpful if the guys would just make the decision for us. Like sometimes Greg and I'll get in the car and I'll go, where you want to go eat? I don't want to make the decision.
Please just help us with this.
Just make the decision. Or even like with dinner, just make the decision. It's okay.
Make dinner without asking.
Yeah, make dinner without asking. Like if we're getting ready to go somewhere and, normally that's what we do. We do the planning, right? We're planners. That's what women do. But sometimes during this phase, it's just nice to have somebody else do it because we are so fatigued.
Absolutely.
Like
There's
mentally,
so much going on.
There's so
Look,
much going on. We're just mentally
Zach's
fatigued.
probably not going to be able to see this unless I stand up, and he's probably going to be like, what are you doing? This. I'm going to show to Jenny. Is that not sexy? Yeah, down. This is Jim, down on his hands and knees. Let me see if I can get up and show you all. I was like, yes, this is what we want. All right, I'm going to take it to this camera, all of you. Oh, ouch. Okay, don't you love that? Guys, that's how you help us. He was scrubbing the bathroom floor and doing laundry.
See, those are the things right
Yes.
there. You don't have to ask. They're just doing them
I
during
didn't
this
even take that
phase.
for today's show. It was just
Yeah.
like, thank you. Yeah. And it puts us in a better state.
It does.
It calms us,
Yes.
which we need.
That was great. I'm so glad you had that picture.
Well, and it wasn't even
That's
supposed to be
awesome.
for today. I was just like,
That's awesome.
look at him. He's scrubbing the floor. Right? Exactly. And that's what we do. And then we love you more.
Yeah.
Our relationships are
Yeah.
better. We see the help that we need.
Well, when men step in proactively, that to us is just, we feel so supported. Not managed, but we feel so supported when they can do that.
Yep. Let's see. Okay. You are so right, Jenny. We need to be honest. I have all men in my house. Sometimes I just go to my room early at night because I want to lay down. My youngest son says, oh, mom is doing her Irish goodbye, making fun of me. Hubby says to him, leave her alone. She's tired and not Irish. She's Italian. I fall in love with him all over again. Right?
Oh, that's so awesome.
So there it is. That's support. That's stepping
That's
in.
awesome. And
Linda-
good for him, because you know what? Your
Awareness.
husband just made a very example of how your son will need to relate to
Moving
his
forward.
wife later. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So good.
Also, Linda said, I went through menopause at age 50, going on 68, and I still have a hot flash from time to time.
Yeah.
Way better, but also
Yeah.
I may be just used to it and have dealt with it, which we keep saying we don't want you to.
Yeah,
And then she
don't.
said, my gym is really good about helping with house chores as well.
That's
right?
wonderful.
It makes us happy.
Yeah, that's so good.
Okay, so Unbridled Focus Photos on again, saying this, like this is everything. This is what I'm talking about. So Unbridled Focus Photo on Instagram, what is your name? Because Jenny's trying to figure out. She said,
Yeah.
because she's in your group.
Yes.
Just want to find out who
Yeah.
that is. Okay, so men, we're addressing you, and I'm waiting for you guys to respond. You might just be sitting there quietly going, okay, taking notes. This is what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
Intimacy evolves. It doesn't disappear.
Right.
This is a really big one. Libido
is.
changes, and that's normal. We're not saying that we're not interested.
I think it's more about connection. At some point, it gets past the desire part of it as we age. It's not that you still don't have the desire. It just becomes more about, maybe it's more about touching. Maybe it's more about the affection, with what.
I think this is a big one, Jenny. I think this is the one that I hope, and I will probably make a reel out of this and get it out there immediately, because I need guys to understand this.
Yeah.
It is not at all that we are not into you anymore.
No.
It is not that we
No.
have no desire
It's not that at
anymore,
all.
But there are hormonal changes.
Yes.
And then suddenly for guys, they're like, I want it all the time, and you don't want to be with me anymore. It's not, something's going on.
Yeah.
Right? And this
Right.
is
It
where
has
she
nothing to
works
do
on
with
the
them.
nutrition, and then she works with a partner of, okay, maybe they need some hormone replacement
Right.
therapy. If
Yes.
that's your choice.
Yes.
Let me ask this though, Jenny.
Yeah.
If someone says, I don't want to do hormone replacement therapy.
I've
I
had
don't want
that.
to do bioidentical hormone. I don't want to do any of that.
Yep.
Well, then what do you do?
I just work with them on nutrition and lifestyle, and we do the very best we can from a holistic standpoint.
Okay. And again, it's all your choice, right? You're the
Because some
patient. You
people,
make the choice.
and you know this yourself because of health reasons, cannot do them. Okay.
Oh, it was a big decision for me. And
Right.
It's still a thing where I'm like, I hope I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Well, you're in good hands. I have no doubt.
You have to have someone.
You have to have somebody that you trust. Okay. And that's where just make sure you're vetting who you're working with.
Right.
Make sure you're not just, if they're not answering all the questions when you go in for the hormonal stuff, then you need to probably look somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the beautiful thing is you always have a choice. Her buddy Michelle H.
Oh, yep.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
Awesome.
There you go. So yes,
Awesome.
the group, by the way, that we're talking about is the Menopause Belly Secrets group on
I didn't know our
Facebook.
handle on. Okay. I didn't know our handle on
So
IG.
you can scan that QR code and get in it. Okay, this is not for you to go at these things alone. Rose said, "I'm making Jim a gooey butter cake." That that shot should be a pic of sexy in dictionary.
Yeah, maybe it changes, Rose. What seems to be sexy?
Well, again, we're talking about intimacy. So affection without expectation, emotional check-ins, patience, and curiosity. And by the way, you will probably want to say, okay, honey, let's go to the doctor together, because I understand that maybe the hormones are off, and I just want to be here for you, right?
Yeah.
If she hears you communicating like that, not pointing fingers or not blaming, the blame game doesn't help us.
Absolutely.
Or saying what's wrong with you, or why are you gaining weight, and all these things, or why are you sweating? What the heck? And no one else is sweating.
Yeah.
These are all things that make us just kind of want to go backwards in a shell.
It does.
Right? We want to
That's
be
that
out there
alone
with you.
thing.
Yes.
And we don't want to be alone.
No. All right, we've got a couple more. So encourage us, support us, don't question it if we need help.
Yeah. So, nutrition, coaching. That coaching can be anything. It could be mindset. It could be working with me. Medical holistic care. Are you seeking someone for the hormone replacement? Are you looking for a functional med doctor who's going to dive in and maybe look at some other things as well that may help with that journey to be better? And the response should be, instead of, like being supportive, would be, I'm so proud of you for taking care of yourself.
That one gave me chills. That is, if we can hear those words out of your mouth,
Thank you for taking care of you.
Who doesn't want to hear, I'm proud of you? And think about it when you're a little kid and you're dancing, or you're playing sports, you're doing gymnastics, whatever. I'm so proud of you. Okay? You hear that as a little kid. By the way, that never goes away. Right? You're at work and you're turning in a huge project, and then the boss comes back, or the leader comes back and says, I'm so proud of your work.
Yeah.
Okay? That needs to transfer home. Honey, I'm so proud that you were able to get this dinner made for all of us. I know how stressful your day is. All these kind things, right? Kindness goes such a long way, and I know you think I say it too much, but I can't say it enough.
Yes.
Be kind, be aware, get out of your own way.
And be supportive.
Yes.
Yeah. How can I support you? If you want to do this, how can I support you? I have so many women that come to me and they're like, well, I have to ask my husband. And I'm like, okay, which is fine. Great. Put him on the phone. I'll be glad to talk to him. What part does he need to understand about how this is going to help you?
Well,
help them. Yes, help
huge.
you.
Yes.
And then eventually it's going to help them.
And the entire family.
It's like, wow, okay. But
Jenny's
it does
brought
happen.
that up with me a lot, by the way, of women that have reached out, and then it becomes, oh, I don't know, my husband may not want me to spend money. And it's, well, do you want to get better?
Right.
Does he want you better?
Right.
Does he want to support you?
Right.
Yeah,
Those are the hard questions and decisions that have to be made. But support is everything. Supporting and just being proud of where they're at and how they're taking care of themselves. Huge.
All right, so what's the big takeaway?
Well, of course, menopause isn't going away anytime soon. So we need men to not fix it, but walk along aside of us. Through it.
Through.
Yes.
Right? Alongside
Walk
us.
through
Be
it.
our
Right.
partner again.
It's not about perfection. It's about being present.
Amen.
Okay? And it's listening and not solving the problem for us or fixing the problem. And I know that's really hard. I am a fixer myself, so I can see how that can be really hard not to do when you're asked not to do it. But being supportive too. Just being there, being supportive and caring for that individual, being that grounding force for them.
So I hope you all heard that. And again, here's what we would ask you to do. Share this with men in your life, whatever role that man plays. And I know initially they're going to probably be like, oh, it's menopause, I don't need to hear it. And you'll say, no, actually, today is for you to listen.
Right.
And if you want to help or you want to understand us more, listen to today's show. And if they want to break it up in parts of 5-10 minutes at a time, great. Keep coming back to it so that they get that aha moment.
Right.
So this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is what I'm not supposed to be doing. And hopefully that helps you. So what are you feeling today in our 100 Days books? So one more time, if you all are new, by the way, we wrap up with a devotional, 100 Days to Freedom books, or one of them is 100 Days of Healing. That's our latest book. 100 Days from Fear and Anxiety, Shame, Depression, Anger, and Overeating.
I think this is a healing day.
Healing?
Yep.
Okay, 100 days of healing. One more time before we take our final break, let me give you all the information of how Jenny can work with you and let her do that. Again, I'm hoping that you all don't just sit there and think these are things you have to deal with. Let Jenny do the testing. Let Jenny be the empathetic person, especially when others are not being empathetic, and be the support for you until those people come back into your life and decide, oh, that's what we're supposed to be doing. So Jenny at jgoptimalwellness.com. Again, at jgoptimalwellness. So check her out on social media as well and get inside of that Menopause Belly Secrets group. You just heard Michelle over on Instagram saying that the group is amazing and how it's helped them. Also, a free assessment call. Have that done for you so that she can start saying, okay, now I know what's going on. When you don't understand why all these things are happening to you. Let her help you with that. All right, when we come back, healing, 100 days of healing. Don't go anywhere.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. No commute, no appointments, just warmth, relief whenever you need it. Sore muscles recover faster, tight joints loosen up, tension you carry all day, gone. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
And by the way, Spas and More is our presenting sponsor of Metals and Mayhem, and JG Optimal Wellness, a contributing sponsor. So we have our show coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon with Michaela Tuggle, Make That Magic. We are going to recap today's USA women's hockey. Can't wait to see that. So a lot of you might be home from work or kids home from school, possibly on President's Day. Maybe you'll get a chance to watch it live. So at 9:40 this morning, Central Time, it is the USA women's hockey team playing, and then we'll be recapping that for you at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So again, thank you to Jenny and thank you to Angie from Spas and More for being a part of this. We've been having fun with it for sure. Jenny picked 100 Days of Healing. This is from Stephen Arterburn, and day 4 says, seek God to find peace. The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Because you're in need of healing, do you feel as if you've lost your sense of peace? Are you currently in the kind of circumstance that makes you question whether you'll ever have peace again? When life throws its worst at us, it's hard to not feel as if God has abandoned us. This is really fitting with what we talked about today. Where we once felt peace, we now feel only despair and doubt. These difficult times test us to the core of our being, and they often feel unending. Thankfully, our Creator doesn't reject us when our desperate feelings override our faith. In fact, Jesus, who chose to descend from heaven and became a man, experienced things like we do, some things even worse, of course, than most of us ever go through. And just like us, Jesus once cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" That's Matthew 27, verse 46, and Mark 15, verse 34. If Jesus and many other biblical heroes question God, so can we. So be honest with him, because he already knows you're struggling. Then look to the miracle of the resurrection for a fresh infusion of hope. Ask God to renew your mind and allow you to reframe your circumstances in the light of his love. Because of our Savior, our future rests secure. Catherine Marshall said, the only time I ever find my dealings with God less than clear-cut is when I'm not being honest with him. The fuzziness is always on my side. It's not on his. Philip Yancey says the Old Testament proves that God honors questioners. Remember, grumpy Job emerges as the hero of that book, not his theologically defensive friends. And John Eldridge said a wound that goes unacknowledged and unwept is a wound that cannot heal. All right, well, today's prayer is, merciful Jesus, I admit that my faith often falters. In my humanness, I see only what's in front of me and forget your love is constant and your presence is sure. Give me the peace that's beyond anything that I can ever imagine. Amen. Good one for today.
Yeah,
We
it was
needed
very fitting.
healing. Yes.
Very fitting.
Good one, Jenny. All right, so 1 o'clock this afternoon, will you be watching the U.S. women beat
I might be able to hit that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So a lot of them I haven't had a
Today.
chance to watch live. I've been watching.
I've got a call somewhere in there. I can't remember.
What's been your favorite before we wrap up? Favorite part of the Olympics?
Probably right now, hockey.
Hockey? Men's or women's?
Both.
Both. I watched skeleton, by the way, yesterday, and I just think those people are flying down
Right?
face first
Right.
at 70, 80 miles an hour. I don't get it. It's fascinating to me. All of these things. I've been watching I love the rhythm skating.
Oh, that was fun. I love that too. Yeah, that was really good.
I'm a
It's like
big-
dancing on ice, and it's
It
kind of
is.
like, wow.
I'm a big Chalk and Bates fan.
Yeah,
right
same.
now.
Same.
And is it Danny Shea? Danny
Yes.
O'Shea or whatever. He's got the cutest big smile. His energy when he steps on the ice is just amazing to me. Anyway, all the athletes, we wish you
Yes,
the best.
for
so
sure.
1:00 this afternoon and 6:00, by the way, tomorrow evening. So today we recap hockey, and then tomorrow we'll recap curling, and then the closing ceremonies are on Sunday, the 22nd.
Wow,
we
that's
will have her
crazy.
on
Already
Monday
fast.
morning, the 23rd, as we recap the closing ceremonies. I know. Thank you, my friend.
Thank
And
you.
one more time, you look fabulous.
You do too.
To all of you, keep those questions coming in as you now are maybe coming to the end of the show, and then share this with all of your family and friends, and let Jenny help you. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you at 1:00 this afternoon. From now till then, remember to be kind and God bless.